Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing our weekly market analysis where we go through the from the current set all the way back to the sets in Sword and Shield, and we look at what's happening with prices. We correlate what's happening with TCG Player and on eBay. And I did want to say that I made a video the other day about demand either not being here or just not being what it was before the summer, because it was clear that TCG Player had a Cyber Weekend event, and outside of that Cyber Weekend event, we really have not been seeing much movement for these products. Even the top tier products haven't been selling much whatsoever. Everything has really been dropping. And I think that's exactly what's going to be getting shown when we look through this market analysis. There were a lot of people that were not happy to hear me say this, and I don't know why. This was not a biased opinion whatsoever. I was simply talking about exactly what was happening, and that's it. It was not about how I felt. It's not what I wanted to happen. It's just simply what is happening. So before we get to it, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you guys. All right, so let's get to it. The first thing we're going to look at is some Ascended Heroes products that are already on TCG Player, like these 3-pack blisters. Insane what we're looking at right here. I'm not looking to see what has sold, how many has sold as of yet, but the first thing I want to look at is just these prices. A 3-pack blister pre-ordering for $70, guys. Um, that's like $20 a pack, maybe $10 for the promo, which is insane. I can understand how the Charmander promo is going to be more valuable than this Ghastly one, but there's a $10 price difference here, and the only difference here is the promo. Still looking like something maybe like $20 to $18 per pack, which is insane. Pretty really early for that. Then we have this 2-pack blister with the promo here and the Larry coin. Well, this is like $30 a pack. I don't I wouldn't be able to justify these prices. It's pretty crazy. It's going to be hard enough when these products finally release, because the first things we're getting are going to be, I believe, these 3-pack blisters. We're going to be getting each individual product in waves, which is really weird. We're going to get the 3-pack blisters, then at some point we get the booster bundles, and so on and so forth. And then at some point later on, we're going to get the ETBs. It's going to be pretty crazy. I think it's going to make this even harder for collectors or investors, whichever they are, to obtain these products. And that's going to be really a sad sight to see unless you have some connection where you can actually speak to someone and get some pre-orders in. But I just wanted to look real quick with you guys to see if any of these are pre-ordering, and it looks like one item was, what is that? One item pre-ordered? Uh, I guess it's not even. I wonder if someone did this here just to get the price going, which is odd. Uh, I'm not even going to continue with that, but I at least want to make sure that you guys are aware of how these prices are getting set. It's pretty crazy for these things to be this expensive. I would not buy these at this price whatsoever. Wait till it releases. We already know everything bought during pre-order is going to be insane and is going to be wildly overpriced. It's going to be just way too inflated for you to justify the purchase. The next thing we're going to look at is Ascended Rivals on eBay. There are some pre-order sales here already with both the Pokemon Center ETBs and the regular ETBs, and we're seeing these Pokemon Center ETBs selling for a really crazy price. This is kind of reminding me of what the Prismatic Evolutions looked like, maybe the Destined Rivals ones as well. Pretty wild, because these are really it's a really hyped set, and so I anticipate this being a really expensive set as well. I mean, it's a good set overall. But we're seeing already $350 pre-orders, 370 for the Pokemon Center ETB. The regular ETB is pre-ordering for about $130, but we do see some other prices like this one, 175. Again, Pokemon Center ETB is at 350. We have some other one here. The regular, sorry, that's a Pokemon Center ETB that somebody took the best accepted offer in. I guess that's the best purchase I've seen. One here at 170 as well, Pokemon Center ETB. And another regular one at 130. So we're seeing really crazy prices already for Ascended Rivals. Um, I would kind of try to stay away from these. Once again, pre-order prices are always going to be really inflated. But it is a really highly anticipated set. It's going to be a really good set. We already had the leaks come out, and we still have more cards that are yet to be released. Probably going to make the set even better, right? But yeah, just keep it in mind for Ascended Rivals. That's where we're at right now. Moving on, of course, Phantasmal Flames. It has now dipped down to $245. We still have yet to receive that second wave. And the fact that it's already at $245 without the second wave even being here just tells us that it's going to drop even further when the wave finally comes, right? If hopefully that second wave does arrive before that next bull run arrives, and then this box will get to an even more affordable price, and then everybody can get their hands on it however way they want, whether it's to rip or invest. It'll just be easier to justify the purchase, right? And this is the way where hype. This is the way hype works as well, right? Not that it's a horrible set, but it gets talked down so much. They talked about pull rates so much, and it's affecting it in such a negative way that the boxes are dropping down to 245, even though it has possibly the best Charizard ever made in that box. And we already saw what Obsidian Flames did with easy pull rates. Actually, the Obsidian Flames pull rates were easier than the Phantasmal pull rates, and Obsidian Flames sold for about $330 for a little while, and it's still at like $300 now. So I think the future for Phantasmal Flames is actually looking much brighter than most people think. I just wanted to say that about that. Looking on eBay, we had some. I did see some sales on booster boxes here at somewhere around the same price, 238 or 239, but with $9 delivery, $247 delivery there. What else? $240 again, $7 delivery. Um, Another at 242, basically $10 delivery there. So somewhere around market price or even above market price in some cases. In some cases, you see some sales like these where you get them below. I do always stress, buying things on bids and getting a much better price like you see here. But we're still around that market price, somewhere from like 230 to 245, where we're seeing most of these things sell at. And it's not horrible in my opinion. I think long term these boxes are going to do well. But for me, for myself, I think that I'm going to wait on Phantasmal Flames because I do see the current price still dropping. And of course, like I said before, we still haven't had that second wave. So you don't have to FOMO into Phantasmal Flames. There are other products out there that are much better to buy right now. Moving on to Mega Evolution. The Mega Evolution box, of course, got that second wave treatment, and it's down to 233. At some point, it was down to 220 something dollars. What do we have here? 222. All right, so this is something that we could see with Phantasmal Flames. And this set is actually even deeper than Phantasmal. It didn't drop exactly during the correction, like in the middle of the correction, just like Phantasmal did. So this one actually got held up even a little higher because of that. If it did, it probably would have had something look like Phantasmal Flames. It might even be at $200. But we'll have to see what happens. But $230 for Mega Evolution. It's a much deeper set than Phantasmal Flames. It is a great set as well. I do like it. $230 is not bad in my opinion. A lot of people saying that they're finding this one in vending machines. So Mega Evolutions and vending machines for MSRP would be a great, like a really good buy long term. I would not turn that down whatsoever. The non-enhanced box, being that it's a little more scarce here in the US as opposed to the UK, market price is at $250, a little above the enhanced, which in my opinion, the value is in the enhanced box, right? It's got the topper, it's got everything this box has but the topper. So long term, I believe in the enhanced booster boxes as opposed to the non-enhanced. I mean, it says it in the name, the non-enhanced is lacking something that the enhanced has, right? So I would keep that in mind. In my opinion, that's how I would go about it. eBay, once again, eBay is still around that market price, but in some cases a little more expensive. Not that one there, that one's October, but we see here at auction, as I always mention, in auction, $217 with $17 delivery, right at market, 234 basically. We have one here at 233, above market with the delivery there. Another one here, 235, best accepted offer, but with the delivery fee, it's probably still right around market as well. This one says here $115, but there was no positive feedback there, so I wouldn't acknowledge that one. Just don't trust it. 225, $7 delivery on that one there. So we're still seeing basically at market price. So we're seeing that TCG Player is correlating with eBay. Not a horrible thing, especially at these prices. There shouldn't be that much of a discrepancy between the two sites, right? Just because once it gets to a certain price point and things get so cheap, you start to reach a bottom on certain products. And I think Mega Evolution's bottom at the current moment is like $220. If it surpasses that bottom and it gets even lower, I mean, for me, in my opinion, as an investor, long term, better for me. The better the entry point, the better for me. That's how I see it. All right, moving on. Black Bolt and White Flare. Black Bolt sitting at $87 now after that Cyber Weekend event. It did shoot it up to the high 80s, and it's been staying around there around $87. The box is moving a little more than some other products. You're seeing more items sold, but it is also the cheapest thing you could possibly find. Like, it's giving Shrouded Fable competition. Keep that in mind. And then White Flare really doing the same thing, like $10 below, $77 market price. It did drop dramatically right after the sale went down. At least the chart looks dramatic because, once again, a few dollars difference here is actually a much higher percentage than you would expect because it's so cheap. But it had a high of 82 with the TCG Player sales. It is now down to 77. But once again, a much more affordable product, so it's selling more. Um, what I will say is that eventually, at some point, Black Bull and White Flare will do well. It's just not right now. Gen 5 is not really a fan favorite. But I think as we move forward and as the younger generation of people get older, there will be more and more people that can afford these boxes that will want them in the long term. Next, Destined Rivals. Of course, Destined Rivals, the best booster box in the Scarlet and Violet era, did shoot up after the TCG Player Cyber Weekend event, and it went all the way up to $416, and it's starting to retrace right back down. It's at 409. You see the recent sale at $385, and this is what I was pointing out, guys. Even with a top set like Destined Rivals, look at the sales. Without the incentive to buy, demand really wasn't there for it. It's selling. Demand is here. I'm not saying it's not here at all, but it has really slowed down dramatically where the top set in the era has had it like trouble selling. Um, and we're seeing, like I said, most recently sold at 385. We have the lowest listed here at 385. There's one here where this is just booster packs. So yeah, 385 with $11 shipping is the lowest listed at the moment. But I do see this box pulling back a little further as we continue on through the rest of the month. Up until the next bull run starts, I do see Destined Rivals pulling back because sales have just completely diminished. Even if you zoom out, we always talk about looking at these charts, and when you zoom out, you can see clearly it, the diminishing sales, like that's so dramatic right here. It doesn't even compare to what we had before the summer. So once again, it had nothing to do with a bias or an opinion or how I felt about it. It was really what we're looking at. It's just what it is. So demand has really slowed down at the moment, and a big indicator of that is demand not being there unless there's an incentive. That is a really key point there. Once you need deals or some kind of incentive to sell something, you can tell that demand is not really there as it once was before. But we don't know. We're still in December. People are shopping for their families, for themselves, going on vacation, doing different things. Their money is being allocated elsewhere because they have other responsibilities. But we don't know what's going to happen after December. It might just kick right back up. But for now, that's exactly what it is. Looking on eBay, we did see some boxes sell for decent prices. We have a 389 here with best accepted offer, so that's clearly below the 390 point there. I had this one here at 375, but with the acrylic. Once again, guys, always take advantage of that, right? You see that somebody lists a box. If they list a box at market, just below market, but with an acrylic, buy it. That is a under market deal. Acrylics are usually worth $25 to $30. The person has already made that purchase for you. You basically bought this box for $350 to $345. That's a great buy in my opinion right there. What else? 385 here, a little below market there. Not so bad. Not so bad of a deal there. Still better than what we're seeing on TCG Player. Another one here at $400 on bids. It looks like a really nice box. Probably why I went to 400. We're ignore that one. That one's at 189. Don't trust those sketchy looking sales. But we do have here somebody, I guess, case fresh, like they like to call them. Somebody opened up their case, decided to sell them off one by one. Both went on bids for $370 exactly. Surprisingly, another one here went for $500. That seems a little odd to me. $100 over market is something that would stand out as a red flag to me, so I would stay away from that. 370 here as of yesterday on bids as well. Once again, Destined Rivals, we all believe in it. It has a lot of believers. There is no doubt that this box will do well long term, and for that reason, it's going to keep selling for these high prices until we get another reprint. We did receive that reprint from Pokemon Center, and a few other boxes from other places, but not so much. There really wasn't that much that was printed for Destined Rivals. So until we get another nice, decent wave, we're going to continue seeing prices somewhat like this. I would say 380s, maybe 370s, depending on when that bull market comes around again. But we'll have to see what really happens. Keep your eyes peeled, I would say, for sure. It's Destined Rivals. It's not a bad buy, even at these prices now, just because long term it's going to do really well. And this is only specifically for long term holders. That's just my opinion. Next, Journey Together. Journey Together Enhanced Booster Box. I like this set, whether people like it or not. I like it. It has dropped down to a nice $236. Just more opportunity for people to buy. Um, it did shoot up a little bit. It was holding its ground a little bit for the TCG player weekend, but now it's right back down to 236, and it might creep down even lower. But we're starting to see some people bought a few boxes the other day. I don't know what drove them to buy boxes, but I guess it might be the price point, right? If this box keeps going down to 230, 220, $225, people will eventually start jumping on this box. Next, the non-enhanced box, sitting at $221. Has sold once again for Cyber Weekend, and we all see some deals here come up right at $220 once again. When these boxes get this low, people start buying a little more, and it'll feel just like an incentive to buy, right? It'll justify your purchase. Next, we're gonna be looking on eBay. Journey Together on eBay, $235. Once again, it looks like it's nicely protected. It has like that thin case. It's not the acrylic. It's like that flexible plastic, but still protects the box at $235. Looks like a really minty box. A nice one to have here. We have one here at 260. There's really no image there. We have one here at 200. Oh, that's May 11th. Oh my goodness. I thought it was going to be a steal. $220 on bids. $12 delivery. I don't understand how eBay keeps mixing up the dates here on the sales here. 220 on bids, $12 delivery, $244 here now, free delivery, 243, 230. So we're seeing some more expensive boxes selling on eBay, which is surprising to me. But we're still seeing some pretty good deals as well, right? 230, 225, $16 delivery though. I don't know. I'd keep my eyes peeled. I'd keep my eyes peeled on market price, and I'd keep my eyes peeled on eBay. So these prices between eBay and TCG Player are kind of correlating, but kind of not. Some people are spending more money than they need to with the current prices of Journey Together. I would definitely rather look around my local area and see if I can make some plays with other people and convince them to sell me boxes for cheaper. Now, like right here, right? You bought this in Rivals at market price at 400 if you calculated it that way, and then you took Journey Together for 225 after that. Not bad right there. So just pay attention to what's going on there. Just don't make any blind purchases. Try to be smart with your money. Prismatic has continued to pull back from the all-time high of $138. It is sitting at $111, most recently sold at $110. Now, I will say this, of course, this month we're supposed to be getting Sam's Club dropping Prismatic on, I believe it's on the 9th, or is it Costco? One of the two. Just keep your eyes peeled. You can do your information. You can Google it, find it real easy. I'm not doing it in the middle of the video. Sam's Club or Costco is going to be dropping Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, and that is for sure what's dropping this price. We are down to $111. This is the time for you to clearly watch. Deals are coming right now. This is what you need to do every single time that we get word of a reprint, a restock, whatever it is when it comes to market product hitting the market. Keep your eyes peeled and watch for the bottom, and you buy. This is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. If you needed to get Prismatic Evolutions in your portfolio, in your collection, here's the time. First off, at $111 is already a great buy in my opinion. Right now we're already at $111. We're dropping quickly. We're getting so much closer to that date. I believe it was the 9th. I could be wrong. Like I said, you could look it up. But not only are we going to be seeing deals because of the Sam's Club and Costco, right? You can buy them on there as well for MSRP, of course, or maybe even below MSRP, but you're getting them here for $110, which is great. Now, when you go to eBay, you're going to see where even better deals are coming up. You have a listing here of $110 with a best offer accepted, which means that it was below that $110 mark. You have a box that's sold here for $100, guys. You have another here at $95, best offer accepted. That must have been a $90 to $85 box, which would be insane for Prismatic Evolutions. Another here at $95, a great buy. $130, that's above market. That's actually April 28th. Wow, my birthday as well. Crazy that thing is, I'm telling you, I don't understand what eBay is doing. We have another one here at $103. Best offer accepted. Still under $100. I do not like that yellow $40 price tag though from Dollar General or Family Dollar. I just don't like it because it's just not displayable anymore with that tag on there. I don't like it. It looks ugly in my opinion. I feel like it tarnishes the image. It just looks ugly, but it could be something that you could still one day unload to a rip and shipper or someone else that just wants to rip and try to find that God pack. But we have here an amazing buy at $142 for both the booster bundle and the ETB, which is amazing at $142. that's a steal in my opinion. And I think for most they'll see the same. And here as well on bids, $200 for 2 ETBs. It was a lot of two, so $100 for each. Very, very good buy there. We have a sale here at $150. It's a horrible buy, but we're seeing deals all over the place, guys. This is the most affordable that you've seen Prismatic in some time now, aside from when Costco and Sam's Club were printing this thing to the ground, or at least unloading it because they weren't printing it themselves. But they had so much product being unloaded that the ETB price dropped down to like $100, but we haven't seen that for a while. And now we're here in December where prices are still dropping even further. We may be getting really close to a time to just go in on Prismatic Evolutions and maybe just develop the portfolio size that you wanted for Prismatic right now, and then maybe never have to worry about it again. So keep your eyes peeled on Prismatic. Next, we're going to be looking at the Prismatic SPC, another product, top tier product for Prismatic Evolutions. All-time high of $325 is now down to $244. I love these products. UPCs, SPCs, cool promos inside, a lot of packs, the playmats, like these are cool. I think as a collector, these are really cool. As a fan, as an investor, I think it's a gold mine. We're now down to $244. There are a lot of people that justified buying this at $200, and we're now plateauing at $244. I know GameStop is selling them for like $200. I know on some shelves I've seen images where they're sitting for $200. People don't want to buy them, but I promise you at some point people will buy them because you're not going to get them any cheaper than that at the moment, unless we get a reprint somewhere else. We do see things popping up on Instagram all the time of the SPC popping up on Costco at some point in January. Of course, if you can get it then, take advantage of that. But you can always dollar cost average. You're not just trying to get one or two. If you're going to invest into this product, when you do go online for Costco, you're going to have a limited amount that you can buy. So if you want to just call that your portfolio when it comes to this product, that's it. Your investment, your total investment can be much more if you take advantage of it now. Go to GameStop, get it for $200. You're not going to get it any cheaper outside of GameStop, aside from when you go to Costco. And maybe if Pokemon Center drops more, but those are far and few in between. Really rare for you to see them drop at Pokemon Center. Looking on eBay though, we have one here, best accepted with the 260. We have another here that was $240 best accepted. That's a really nice deal there. It's got to be like $220 at least. That's the offer I'd at least attempt to make. $225 here with $11 delivery. We have another one at $240, $10 delivery, and we have a great one here at $209 on bids, $17 delivery. That $17 kills me though. Another one here at $235, free delivery. $265, $18 delivery. $217, $17 delivery. Well, even for this product, guys, we're seeing this product, it's getting much more affordable in this this just moment of correction. Like it's been a good while. It hasn't been it's temporary, of course, but we thought it was going to be much shorter than what it is now. We assumed at least end of the year. We are not exactly there yet, but I thought it would start picking up a little more with Christmas coming around. Maybe people wanted to buy this for their kids, but it's really slowing down, and people are really starting to undercut and just offload product before it gets too cheap, I guess, in their eyes, where they can't make the money, the amount of money that they wanted to make. Really, really great buys right now at 225, 230. If you can get these for $200, I think it's a steal. Of course, once again, look out for the Costco drop. It's going to be a good one. Surging Sparks did climb back up to $252. Of course, the TCG player Cyber Weekend really helped Surging Sparks climb back up to 250. Before that, I was in the 230s, and before that, it was 220. We'll have to see what happens after that. We are having some sales go through on TCG player, but once again, they are starting to slow down again. They're actually less than what they were before the weekend. Before that Cyber Weekend event, there were more sales prior to that, and now there are less. So I do expect some sellers to start undercutting each other again. So just be aware of that. Look out for the listings. We do see some sales here. We even see one right here at 230 with $8 shipping. Once again, sales diminish, they're going to start undercutting, and that's the proof right there. Next, we're going to look on eBay. On eBay, we're seeing sales already as of today, $220 for Surging Sparks. Another one at $220, $10 delivery. What else do we see here? Insane buy, so $220, great for Surging Sparks. $225 free delivery. Best offer accepted on the $250, $230 with $6 delivery, $225, $8 delivery. Once again, great buys at $220, $225 for Surging Spark. Take advantage, because at some point it's not going to happen again, unless you guys expect Surging Sparks to get a tremendous wave like it just had, where it popped up everywhere in vending machines, in your local LGSs, where we continue to have over 1,000 boxes on TCG Player. If you think it's going to be like that forever, you're not really being realistic. It's not going to stay like that forever. $214 here, which is the ultimate one with $9 delivery. Really, really great buy. The box looks so crispy. I love this purchase right here. All right, moving on. Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown, one of those boxes that hasn't had too much of it printed, continues to drop in value. It was somewhere close to $300 at some point. It is now at $250. Once again, Cyber Weekend, it sold a little bit, but surprisingly, it's had some sales still. It's still continuing to sell. I didn't believe in this set so much, but thinking about the scarcity of it, unless we get more reprints of it, it could be decent long term. The set's just a little weak in my opinion, but I think it might be able to do well. Maybe that Squirtle Bulbasaur can hold it up. The Terapagos may get some love in the future. So we'll have to see what that does. But $250 for Stellar Crown. It's the cheapest we've seen it in some time. And once again, it is a bit scarce. Once again, as of today on eBay, Stellar Crown sold for $250 free delivery. Another one here for $240, $4 delivery. Let's see what others we have here. We have another one it was sitting at $228. Best offer accepted. That must have been a $220 buy for Stellar Crown. That's not a bad buy for Stellar. We're seeing a lot of these Pokemon Center ETBs being offloaded because they bought them. They just printed them on Pokemon Center. I actually got one myself. People are offloading them right away. More booster boxes here. $255. Best offer accepted. $260 here. Free delivery. A little expensive for Stellar Crown at the moment, in my opinion. But yeah, not so bad. We did see some really, really nice prices here at 220, but we're seeing a majority of them still sticking around market price at 250, 245 for Stellar Crown. Not horrible, but not so great either. Moving on, Twilight Masquerade Booster Box. I love this box. My favorite color is actually green. I think it's a really cool box. It's sitting at $293. It did have an all-time high of like 330. There you go. For that, it did drop down to 264 before that Cyber Weekend event, and now it also helped to catapult it back up to $290. Sales have slowed down a little bit after the weekend, but they're better. They're actually better than what they were before. For Twilight Masquerade, we'll have to see what the next week does for this box. I do see this box still sales still diminishing. If they're diminishing for a box like Destined Rivals and everything else, I still see this one slowing down as well, at least for the rest of the month. And maybe you'll afford another opportunity to get Twilight Masquerade at a cheaper price, but at the moment it's going back up to $300. You see the most recent sale at $297. It is still a really nice box. In my opinion, really nice Greninja there. I think Greninja is going to be a great card long term. I think it's going to be one of the iconic ones for Scarlet and Violet. So looking on eBay now, as of yesterday, a sale of $280 for Twilight Masquerade Booster Box. Another one at $271 on bids, free delivery. Not a bad buy right there. Another one at $200 here. There's only 10 feedback here, but they're all positive. So $200, if this was a legit sale, I mean, any box at 200 right now is a steal. But Twilight Masquerade at 200 would be insane. 275 here with $6 delivery as well. Again, 270 here again. Free delivery, not bad in comparison, especially to TCG Player. We have one here on bids that sold for $207. Wow, that's a great buy. That's a great buy right there. What else do we have here? We have another one at $240 on bids, $17 delivery. And you guys already see that Twilight Masquerade isn't moving so much. I haven't scrolled down much, and we're already on the sale of December 4th. And a lot of these other boxes that I've looked at, we're still looking at like the 7th, the 6th, throughout the whole first page. We're already on the 4th, and we're still within the first page. So that really is another signal right here that you can see things are just not moving as much as they once were. And that's why I keep talking about demand. And it's true. It just makes a difference. You got to be aware about what's going on in the market. Temporal Forces Booster Box up next. Sitting at $271. It did have an all-time high of $280 as of last week. And it is now back down to $271, which is what it was at before that. But the box looks like it is starting to drop a bit. You see the most recent sale at $264. It's starting to pull back down where we have sales at $264, two of them at $260, one at $272. Then you have $265, $265, $284, $275. So we're seeing the box move in between $280 to $265. This box will pull back just a little bit more as from what we're seeing there. But we do see that some sales are moving a little bit, but it's still not much. It's 2 sales per day, nothing insane at all. So we'll have to see what that does. Look it on eBay. This is a case of Temporal Forces, not a bad purchase at 1,300 for what the price at 27 $270. Not a bad buy with the booster box there, with the booster box case. Um, Another sale here though, which is amazing, at $222.50 on bids, free delivery. That's an insane buy for Twilight Masquerade. I mean, sorry, for Temporal Forces. We have another one here at $260 free delivery. Pretty close to market right there. $240 here with $11 delivery on November 9th. And you already see, like I said, oh, I thought that was that. I thought it was going to keep going to November. $610 for a Paldea Evolved and a Temporal Forces. That is not a bad purchase right there. Paldea Evolved is sitting at like $350 right now. You're still buying Temporal Forces at $260, a little under market. Not bad for buying these two boxes. They look like they're in decent condition. Not a bad purchase there as of yesterday. Uh, Another box here sold at $250. Not bad. But Temporal Forces, you're seeing a lot of the ETBs. You're seeing some cases, which, from what I've heard, we don't have too many Temporal Forces cases out there. It seems like the cases for Temporal Forces are a bit more scarce than some of the others. Um, which I didn't know anything about until like a month ago. And so I've been watching them a little bit. But we're seeing a few of them sell in the last few days. So that's actually pretty interesting in my opinion. Moving on, we're gonna move on to Paldean Fates Elite Trainer Box. Now, Paldean Fates Elite Trainer. This is like one of the products that I feel like you should be picking up right now if you want it. If you want to hold this ETB, I think that right now it did reach that little bottom right there of $232, and it's really not doing much else. It's staying flat right there at the moment. Most recent sale was at $247, and you see another listed here at 247. The listings here on TCG Player are getting more and more expensive, so keep in mind, Paldean Fates doesn't look like it's getting any cheaper at the moment. It actually is starting to trend upward. Paldean Fates, once again, the Bomu, probably the best card in Scarlet and Violet. On eBay, $225, $10 delivery. Another one at $240 with bids, $13 delivery. Not a bad purchase there. $225, $13 delivery. Yeah, Paldean Fates is still staying pretty expensive. It's not getting any cheaper than what it is right now. It was close to like $300 at some point. So right now, maybe the best purchase you're gonna have in a good while. Next year, it's definitely not going to be what we're looking at right now. So 250, 220. If you can get this box somewhere around there, I would say 220 if you can. It's sitting at like 230 at the moment. If you can make some kind of purchase at $230, maybe get luck in an auction, it wouldn't be horrible for Paldean Fates. Great, great box to have. Paradox Rift. Paradox Rift is sitting at $238. My opinion on this box is that it's not such a great box, but it will do. It's gonna do well long term. At some point, it's gonna appreciate in value. It's just gonna be way behind all the other boxes, right? It's sitting at 238. It had that all time high of like $300 when it got like manipulated at some point at 322. But it's sitting at $238 right now after the TCG Player Cyber Weekend event, and it's trending downward again. Not too many sales in the last week for it, but I'm not surprised. It is Paradox Rift, another box that just doesn't have too much in it. It does have the Groudon, but the Groudon, it's not an SIR, and that's really an issue when you have a card that's an IR. I know that the Magikarp is a whole different story in its own, but it's really the only card that's an IR that is doing that well. Groudon, just if it wasn't a SIR, it would be so much better. All right, so as of today, box is selling at $220. It's a $220 sale, $6 delivery. Another one at 240, best offer accepted. 225, buy it now, free delivery as of today as well. So Paradox Rift selling really, really inexpensive. $210 as of yesterday. 206, $206 on bids, $10 delivery as of yesterday. Great buy right there. Wow, 6 boxes sold for $1,125 with $30 delivery. That is insane. It might be an open case. It's still 6 boxes. 6 boxes at $200 is $1,200. That's $75 under that $200 mark. That is insane. This is like well below market for 6 boxes that are probably pretty minty since they were in the box. That's insane. Great buy right there. What else do we have here? I think that one just takes the cake. I don't even want to look at it anymore. $240 on the 4th, free delivery. So yeah, guys, Paradox Rift selling at about market at 238 or cheaper on every single sale. Not bad for that. Next, the 151 ETB has pulled back from its all that high that it was there for so long. It was at like 400 to $410 for so long. It is now down to $351. This may be the opportunity that some of you were looking for. $350. The last time we were at 350 was at the end of August. The end of August was the last time you saw this box at $350, which is pretty crazy to think about. It was about 3 months ago the last time you saw it at this price. So you may want to look into this box now if you do want to hold it for the long term. We of course saw some sales on TCG Player, and of course in the past week it's had some sales at 350. It is 151. Nostalgia, just pure nostalgia, sitting right there in the box, and it's going to keep on moving up, especially next year when the bull market comes around again. This box should creep up again. Looking on eBay, as of today, $345 free delivery. We have another one at 380. Best offer accepted, free delivery. We have one here at 325, 27 bids, $30 delivery. That $30 delivery fee just jumped you up to 350. They just hid that. They like to hide that in the delivery fee there, and people just don't recognize it. Sometimes they ignore it. 350, best offer accepted, $15 delivery. Another one here at $320 on 42 bids, $17 delivery. A much better purchase right there. 335 with $10 delivery. Not bad right there on bids as well. 355 best offer accepted. 320 with 29 bids, $10 delivery. So you're finding some steals. Once again, just like many other products, even 151 isn't safe from great purchases right here. So if you want this box, this is a great time to take advantage. Next, we're going to be looking at the 151 UPC. I always talk about this product. It's a great product. It's my favorite out of every product for 151. It had an all-time high of $618. MSR, Target, wow. Market is now at $562, $50 below the all-time high. Of course, this product has moved in the last week with the Cyber Weekend deals. So it's a decent product. It's moving a decent amount. It is really expensive still at $562. We're not going to act like it is not expensive. Anything at $500 is expensive. Looking on eBay, sold as of today for $500, $20 delivery, $60 below market price. Insane, but great time for people to sell, and great time for people to pick up at a decent price. On bids here, $480. It says best offer accepted. So I would love to know what that was like. Probably a great one. This one says what's happening here. It says 0 bids, 200. It's giving you two prices. I'm gonna assume it's the $400 one because 200 would be wild. It's showing it again. $400, $400 as of today. Buy it now with $16 delivery. That's insane. I haven't seen that price in a very long time. $535 free delivery. $525, $18 delivery for one here with an acrylic case on it. $490 on bids with $9 delivery. So we're seeing a lot of random prices here. We're seeing some at $490. We saw one at $400. We're seeing one here at $550. We saw one at $500. We see another one here at $585. So the UPC is really jumping around in value, whether it's a bid, whether it's a listing, buy now, best offer, but still much more affordable than what we're seeing on TCG Player. So take advantage of that on eBay if that's what you really want. Obsidian Flames booster box. I love to compare this box to Phantasmal Flames because everybody wants to doubt Phantasmal Flames. Even though the Charizard in Phantasmal Flames is like 100 times better than the Charizard in Obsidian Flames. And if Obsidian Flames had an all-time high of 330 and it is back up to $300 now, what do we think Phantasmal Flames is going to do? I'm just saying, keep that in mind. Like, that's just how I see it. I see the value in Phantasmal because that Charizard is so good, and if Obsidian Flames can do it, Phantasmal can definitely do it. We're gonna look on eBay, Obsidian Flames, see what's moving here. We had a sale as of yesterday, $270, $10 delivery. Another at $280 on bids, free delivery. Another one that was $300, best offer accepted, $12 delivery there. $250 on bids, $10 delivery. Not bad at $250, $260 right here. One bid, $11 delivery. If you want this box at $260, $250, eBay's got it for you. Not so bad right there if you can get them on bids. There are some selling at $300, just like I scrolled past one right there. We have one here at $270. So $270 to $260 seems to be the price that you would look for on eBay. Of course, it doesn't compared to TCG player. This price is so much better on eBay here, so I would take advantage of it if I can. Next, Paldea Evolved Booster Box, sitting at $351. And I did point out in one of my other videos, this, in my opinion, should have been the box that you were looking for. Destined Rivals is never going to be a bad purchase, but Destined Rivals should get a reprint or two more before it goes out of rotation. Paldea Evolved is very unlikely to get another reprint of booster boxes before it rotates out early next year. Pokemon Center has its hand full with so many other things that they need to reprint. You know, whether it be other things that are still in rotation, whether it be Twilight Masquerade, whether they wanted to do more Surging Sparks. They haven't given us any Journey Together. They haven't given us much Destined Rivals. Like, they have so much on their hands. I don't think they're going to reprint this. It's just what I think. But we're sitting at $350. It had an all-time high of $475, which is crazy. We had a sale or a few sales of like 485, 490, and we're now down to 351. This should have been the targeted box on Cyber Weekend, and it didn't really get targeted like that. We did have some sales, but not like I thought. And once again, prices are dropping again. People are buying a few more boxes, but still not as much as I expect, or I feel like as much as it deserves, because this is the box that I feel like you should be building a position on. It's a great box. Long term, it's going to do really, really well. Now let's see what happens on eBay for Paldea Evolved. First sale we see here as of today on bids, $330, $11 delivery. Great buy right there. $389 as of today as well. Insane buy right there, well above market. We have one here with that plastic case I was talking about before at $390, best offer accepted. We have another one here which was actually in Spanish at $300, best offer accepted. Another one, $400, best offer accepted again. $10 delivery there. So Paldea Evolved, it is moving quite a bit. Once again, it is one of the best boxes in Scarlet and Violet. I would not look away from this box. I think this is a box to focus on now. It would be a mistake to wait for this box to go out of rotation, because sellers are going to take advantage of the fact that it is going out of rotation, and they're going to hike up the prices. And then people will FOMO and will create a much higher market price. I think now is the time to take advantage before it is too late. Next, we're going to be looking at Scarlet Violet Base. Scarlet Violet Base is basically on discount. It had an all-time high of $247. It is now at $218. It keeps being said by many, the best base set booster box probably ever created. I do like the illustrations in here. It's got a ton of illustrations that I find to be really good looking cards. And so I think it's really undervalued, especially for a base set box that can provide what this one is providing. Every other base box that I've seen out there, you look at the sets, they don't have much in there. They look horrible. Even grading cards in those sets out of 10 will not give you the value of what the box is worth. And that is not the case with this box. You can definitely get some good value off of ripping one booster box here and possibly getting a PSA 10 and still getting your money back and more. Next, Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith is a box that people are looking forward to watching it take off, and it really hasn't happened. It had an all-time high of $228. It is now down to $200. It's been there for the last, 2 weeks? I don't know what it's going to take to push this box up, but it looks like to be dipping right back down to $196. It may get even cheaper. We are seeing some sales at $180. We saw one here at $182 as of today, and two at $200. But we did see that 182. We saw a few the other day at $185. So this box might get a little bit cheaper, but I wouldn't look for it to get too much cheaper, too much more affordable, just because Crown Zenith, it is a great set. There are people out there that are holding these boxes, that are selling them, and will be looking forward to these boxes appreciating more in value just because the set is so good. But it did get heavily printed, and that's probably what's holding it back for a little bit. But at some point, I will expect this box to take off. Next, Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest, I love the Lugia. I talk about it all the time. The Lugia is one of the best alt arts ever created. One of the best in Sword and Shield. It's such a great looking card. I absolutely love that card. The box is sitting at $437. It did climb back up a little bit during that Cyber Weekend again, but it's climbing right back down. Most recently sold at $424, $425, $438 before that, $410, $400, $440, $428. So much cheaper sales in the last week. I would take advantage of Silver Tempest if I could. That's really the goal right there. Clearly, Sword and Shield boxes are all going to be out of print, or they are out of print. And Taking advantage of some of these boxes, I think, is going to be a great idea long term. Great alternate art cards. Um, some of these Scarlet and Violet cards don't even compare to the alternate art cards in Sword and Shield. That's just the truth. We might have the IRs in Scarlet and Violet, but the alt arts in Sword and Shield are top tier. We do have a full sealed case of Silver Tempest. Somewhere around that $400 mark, you would think this box would be at 2,400, but it went on bids for $2,275. Really, really good buy under market. That sealed premium doesn't even exist in this purchase. Great buy right there. Let's keep looking for some more boxes. We have another one here that sold for $400 flat on one bid, free delivery. Not a bad buy right there. We have another one with best offer accepted that was at $390 with $11 delivery. Not bad there as well. We have another one here that looks so crispy at $400, $13 delivery, basically 405 with $13 delivery on bids. Not bad. 360, 385 on this one with $10 delivery. Great purchases for Silver Tempest on eBay. Another one not to shy away from. Silver Tempest is going to be a really nice moving box in the long term. I think there will be people out there, whether it be a rip and shipper or others, that are going to want to chase that Lugia. It's such a nice card. Even though this box got printed more than some of the other Sword and Shield boxes, I wouldn't shy away from this box whatsoever. Next, Lost Origin has been on discount for some time now. It had an all-time high of $800 and something. There was a point where they got bought out. The only thing listed there was at 900, and ever since then, it seems like that really hurt the box, in my opinion. I think it really helped diminish sales for this box. Market price is now at $656. Sorry, $653. There were some sales on Cyber Weekend, but after that, once again, sales dropped right off. I did see some listings at like 660. We're seeing some here at 646 with $50 delivery, basically 660. Another one here again, 660. So 665 in the next. So Lost Origin really $660 on TCG Player. Not bad for Lost Origin. Giratina is well valued. Such a high PSA 10 value on it. The trainer gallery in it is really nice. I think Lost Origin is going to do really well long term. So we're seeing on eBay, the first thing we're seeing here is a opened case. I don't know why people like to do this. So why do you want to open the case to display it? I also have a theory that people are just buying cases and filling them with their Lost Origin boxes so that it looks like they're case fresh. That's just what I think. My conspiracy theory, I guess you could say. But this sold on bids for $3,188. Now, 6 boxes at $600 equals out to $3,600. This box I sold for $3,188. This is a great buy here, even if these aren't case fresh. Still a really great purchase here, well on the market for those right there. We have one here that was minty at $700, but it was best offer accepted with $7 delivery. It looks like a really nice box there. We have another one here at $625, $9 delivery. Another at $670 with that plastic case that I was talking about. $670 free delivery there. Not so bad. See what else we have here. Maybe we see a few more. $650 from Probostine on bids, $20 delivery. What else do we have here? Another one at $660, but it was a best offer accepted. So we're seeing same thing here. Still more and more deals on Lost Origin as well. Boxes getting much cheaper. But not too many boxes moving here. We do have one here with an acrylic, and I always say take advantage of this because that's $30 basically off your booster box. Free delivery there at $650 with the acrylic. That's $620 for the box. Another one here on bids, $645, $25 delivery though. And another one here at $650 with $25 delivery again. Still, Lost Origin well below its all-time highs, like 20 to 30% its all-time high, which is insane. Great time to buy Lost Origin. At some point, it should start taking off again. Next, we're looking at Astral Radiance. Not really a big mover whatsoever. It's been like this for some time now. Even on the TCG Player weekend, not much sold. They sold 4 boxes. Literally 4 boxes for the weekend. Sorry, 7 boxes sold for Astral Radiance. Not much moving, not much demand for this box whatsoever. It's been like that for some time. I don't even know what it's going to take for it to change. Next, Brilliant Stars Booster Box. Now, this one did get some decent purchases, but it did have an all-time high of 550. It is still below $500, which is a great buy for Brilliant Stars. It did have some sales on TCG Player for the Cyber Weekend, which helped push it back up to $496. It was at like 417. We're seeing right here. The boxes at like 490 to $500 are not bad for Brilliant Stars as a buy. It is a really nice set. It's loaded with Trainer Gallery. The alternate art is a decent buy, a decent card there as well. But the box overall at $500 is not a bad purchase at the current price with the current market. On eBay, first sale we see here is at $500, $20 delivery. Let's see what else we find here because it looks like we're getting mixed listings here. We have another one here at 500 again, $35 delivery. See what else we have here. Another one at 500, $15 delivery there as of yesterday. A lot of separate random things being sold for Brilliant Stars. We're seeing a lot of collection boxes, ETBs, booster packs. Another box here at $500, free delivery. We have another one in the acrylic, December 3rd, but it has 73% positive feedback. 71.3. I would not trust this here. I don't know why it looks fishy. The sale was at $235. Looks really odd right there. Another one here at $450 here, best offer, but it was free delivery. Really, oh, that's German. No wonder it's a German box. Sorry about that, guys. I got myself too excited right there. $550. Buy it now, free delivery. Above market, but it's a really minty box. On top of that, you do have the acrylic. I don't think this is a bad purchase here. We are $50 over market, but as nice as this box looks with a acrylic on it, I think it's well worth buying this box over a box that was at $490 and had like the wrapping falling apart or maybe stretched out with no acrylic casing whatsoever. Great purchase right there. So Brilliant Stars is a steal in my opinion at $500. It should do better at some point. People love the set. People will want to own it at some point. So that's a nice box there. Fusion Strike had an all-time high of $1,032. It is now down to $857. You see the most recent sale at $775. Another one at $775 earlier in the week. We had a few at $775 in this week, but there were other sales also at $850. Still below market where it was before. Fusion Strike has been pulling back for a little while now. On eBay, we see a sale at $800, still below market. Not a bad buy right there whatsoever. We do have a case right here. It looks like the same exact person with this black glove, whatever this is, on the bottom here, continues to sell this sealed cases here, and he sold this one for $4,550. Once again, below market price. 6 boxes at $800 will equal out to $4,800. And they bought this box for $4,550, which is well below market. Again, a sealed case, no sealed premium. Fusion Strike, that's a great buy right there. This is another one here that seems more accurate to where I expected it to be at $5,400 with the sealed premium. But this one was on bids, was it not? Yes, it was on bids. This is why I always say bids. Always look for the bids if you can. We have another box here at $850 with the acrylic. Great buy right there. Still below market and with an acrylic on it. Not a bad purchase whatsoever. We have another one here from Probestein at $740, $20 delivery on bids. We have another here at $800, $6 delivery. Another here at $860, another at $800. So Fusion Strike still selling below market. Even current market price that's well below its all-time high is still not holding up on eBay. So we can see how that doesn't correlate with TCG Player there. So this is why we do these videos, so you guys can see what's happening on other platforms that's not just TCG Player, because TCG Player isn't the only place for you to buy. You should always look elsewhere. Celebrations ETBs sitting at $235. Started climbing back up decently with Cyber Weekend. A few boxes sold. It was down to $199. It is now at $235. Sales should start slowing down at some point for this box. There aren't that many sales anyways. It looks like more because there just aren't that many sales. So the blue bars on here look bigger than they should be. But still, boxes probably will start creeping right back down in price again because sales will eventually diminish, at least for the rest of the month, maybe the beginning of next year. But it should start ticking off again with the 30th coming around next year. eBay, Celebrations, ETB sold today $221.25 with $7 delivery. Another here on bids for $202.50, $10 delivery there. Not a bad purchase there. 220 on bids, $14 delivery. 210, $10 delivery. Another one at 202 again on bids, $217, $13 delivery. 228 with best offer accepted, $5 delivery. $215 again, free delivery. So the box is moving at around $220 to $200. Not bad whatsoever when it comes to the purchases on celebrations in comparison to what we're seeing on TCG Player. Uh, Clearly, the best place to buy is eBay. I do love that we can see the images here. You do want a very minty ETB if you're going to move it long term, or if you even want to display it, right? You do want the ETBs that you want to move at some point to look well. Look at least well kept. So moving on. Evolving Skies, the big boy of Sword and Shield. Market price $2,375. Most recently sold at $2,300. So we did have some sales on the Cyber Weekend event. 3 boxes sold, not too crazy, but they did sell for about $2,400, $2,450. And as of today, 3 boxes sold. The box is moving a little bit. It is once again really, really expensive. $2,300 for this box. As of today, the one before that was at $2,308. That's all it's been for the week. On eBay, we did see a much more affordable sale here at $2,200. Best offer accepted. $7 delivery for an Evolving Skies booster box. Another one here at $2,050 with $25 delivery. As of today, again, really, really cheap in comparison to what it was before. We were at some point selling or seeing sales at $2,600, and we're now sitting at $2,050, $600 off that all-time high, which is pretty wild. Another one here at $2,050, $18 delivery with an acrylic case on it. That's a really great buy right there. And we have another one here at $1,825 from Probestein on bids with an acrylic case. So just seeing, like I said before, even the best items, whether it be Destined Rivals or Evolving Skies, are selling for like a discounted price at the moment. Are they expensive? Of course they are, but they're still much cheaper than they were at their all-time highs. So if this was something you wanted, this is the time to buy, guys. This is the time to buy anything that you want, because next year it will not be this cheap. Next, Chilling Reign booster box had an all-time high of $576. It is now down to $412, guys. Some of the boxes did move on that Cyber Weekend event. We did see 25 sales on December 1st, but after that, once again, sales totally diminished right after. Market prices at $412. We're seeing a whole bunch of $430 and $420 sales, and some even at $400, exactly $399. So Chilling Reign, it's a really, really nice displayable piece. That Blaziken is a really cool card. Blaziken himself just has a really nice popularity behind it. And we still see some boxes here listed at 430, 435, 435 again, and a few boxes at 435 before it gets to 450. A really nice box in my opinion. I expect this box to move at some point, whether it be in January when the bull run starts, or even later on in the year, it will start moving. On eBay, we do see some more sales at $400 here. Buy it now, $10 delivery. We do see a case here. A case sold at $3,600. $3,600 for a sealed case of Chilling Reign. I don't know if the first print really matters. Super mint. You have a super minty cardboard box, as the seller is saying. But 6 boxes at $400. This is a really expensive sealed case for boxes that are selling for like $420. But somebody bought it. You know, you do whatever you want. You could have at least offered, I would assume, or maybe look elsewhere. I have a box here that sold for $400. Another one at $430, right around market. Not bad for that right there. And this is what I was saying right here. You see this? Pokemon Chilling Reign, empty booster box case, no cards. And this is the suspicion I have with all those boxes that we keep seeing that are just opened for absolutely no reason, and somebody sells a case of 6, but it's open. And this is what I feel like is happening. People are selling these empty cases and they're filling them with boxes and then claiming they're case fresh. So be aware for something like that as well. We have another box here at 405, free delivery. And Chilling Reign is just sitting at that $400 to $430 mark, like we're seeing here. 430, $400. Not a bad time to buy Chilling Reign, guys. It was $415 earlier this year. I was calling out Chilling Reign at 415 before it hit that $576 mark. Not long after that, I would say like 3 weeks after that, boxes just started taking off. This box will start taking off again next year. Once again, it's a really, really great displayable piece. The Blaziken is amazing, in my opinion. And it's one of the great alt arts of Sword and Shield. So keep that in mind. Next, Battle Styles had a high of like $277, 288. I mean, and it is now down to 234. I really do like the Sleeping Tyranitar there. A lot of people do. The box did move somewhat during Cyber Weekend a little bit, and it has had some sales in the past week, but nothing too insane. The box continues to pull back. Most recent sale at 227. Not too much to expect from Battle Styles as a big mover whatsoever, but it does have some cool alt arts in there. The Sleeping Tyranitar to me is amazing. The Empoleon is one of my favorite Pokemon from its generation, including the Piplup, has a huge fan base behind it. The Urshifus there are really what drag the box down. People don't really like Urshifu, but at least the Tyranitar and Empoleon look really, really cool in the box. Last but not least is Vivid Voltage. Vivid Voltage is sitting at $238, had an all-time high of 251. Sorry, 55. Mixing up some of these prices or confusing them. But once again, this box, even though it has some decent value, it is a box with Pikachu and it has absolutely no alt arts in it whatsoever. Out of every single box that I've named here today or every single week, I feel like this is the weakest box out of all. No alt arts whatsoever. Just has that big fat rainbow Pikachu, and people don't really value it so much. So if anything, it's just going to be a displayable piece, and that's why it just won't climb, or it's going to have a really, really hard time climbing. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for the video. And as I said before, you guys saw exactly what I was saying. And you guys actually firsthand saw what I was claiming that was happening with sales diminishing and just demand really not being there. We know what demand looks like in the Pokemon market, and this is really not it. A box every few days for some of these boxes, or 2 boxes every few days, is really not the demand that we saw earlier this year. We know when we have high demand, of course, products at MSRP will move, right? If you see something on a shelf, it's going to move at MSRP, whether it be at Target or Best Buy or online drops or the Pokemon Center drop. Of course, those are going to move. But at the moment, these prices are not justifiable for the masses. It's why they're not buying at the moment. But also, once again, we are during the holidays right now. People are buying gifts. They are going on vacation. They're buying gifts for themselves. They have just things to tend to at the very moment that's taking attention away from Pokemon. And it all makes sense. All of it added together, the high prices, the holidays, all of it is the cause for this downturn at the moment. Um, but I will say this is the time for you to take advantage if you can, and if you really want to. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for the video. I hope you guys found value here. I hope you guys all great wishes. I hope you guys had a great week. I'll hit you guys up with another video tomorrow, probably. But with that being said, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace.